Anyway, we do site suitability. We do operational capacity analysis of the facility. We do a 36-month pro forma, and then I provide business consulting on the back end once they get into the facility.
All right, so let's back up a second. You mentioned 3 different things that I don't know the audience
understands.
Knows the definitions of.
So the first service is site suitability. Most gym owners select the site based on what do you think are the 2 things a gym owner generally just picks their location based? I mean, the most common.
Size and rent.
Yeah, so like location and cost.
But when you say location,
yeah.
I don't think most gym owners, especially in the micro gym space, are like, let me get a premium location.
Sure.
I think most people, and I'm curious because you do this more than I do, a lot more than I do. I think most people are looking for, if I can get 5,000 square feet, for example, in a warehouse, I save all of the money I would have gotten in retail. Why would I ever get something in retail? Plus, I'm going to have all the ability to make noise and not worry about it. And then I think the mistake they make is, well, now you need to market with the additional revenue you're not spending on rent to make sure people know you're there.
Yeah. People don't realize the reason CrossFit exploded the way it did in 2008 was not due to how great the fitness model was. I mean, I believe it was great for what it was. It's because it was 2008 in retail. There's industrial, there's office, right? There's land. Industrial, when the crash of 2008 happened, you could go to a landlord and get 2 years free. If you signed a 5 or 6 year lease. Like so many people in industrial settings were underwater. You know how in fitness, certain things go in and out of vogue and trend? Yeah. It happens in real estate as well. Right now, what's not very popular? Office. Do you know what's incredibly popular again right now? Warehouse? Industrial. Yeah. Industrial hasn't been that popular. It was 2008, 9, 10. And then think about what happened in 2010 in the fitness industry, at least. Orange Theory kicked in the door. And now retail. And the reason why now more gym owners are looking at retail spaces is because they look at the successful models out there as having the pretty storefront on a busy street, and they look at an F45, a Barry's, an Orange Theory. They're not an industrial. And those that are and like, why really do you need an industrial? CrossFit gyms that do the hardcore CrossFit thing, they drop weights, they got to climb these ropes. You take those 2 activities out of the equation, you can't make a great argument for industrial except for the cost, except the cost of industrial isn't that much cheaper these days. The number one buyer of industrial warehouses in the United States are THC, marijuana companies. So like in North Carolina, I've got clients looking for warehouse, and they're all bought up within the past 5 years. By who? Companies, and you follow the LLCs, they're weed companies in states in the West Coast, and they're just going to buy them because they have all the cash. They can't put it in the bank anyway. And they're just fucking chilling anyway. They're like, well, it's going to get legal there eventually. And we have our grow fucking places already set. We already own them. We have them ready to go. So it's so funny to see these cycles. But to get to your thing, so site suitability is the one. Gym owners generally look at location and cost. I come in with market opportunity, and then we also go ahead improvement needs. And the improvement needs, as you just found out in this last 6 holy fuck, like you think you have enough money for improvements like construction, but you don't. Like you think should only cost X, and it doesn't. So like really framing someone up on like, this is a great spot. And what we do is we have a 5-point scale. So each one of those: site suitability, market opportunity, cost, and then improvement needs on a 1 to 5. I rate it based on the scenario, and then I can give a score on a site. Yeah, site suitability is this location going to work optimally for your business model and your avatar customer? So the core of what you do, is this site, the actual structure, work? And are we in an area that's ideal for whoever your avatar customer is, whoever your Experian mosaic is?
Now, how do you do that from a distance? Because what we were talking about when I was walking with you from the train station to our flagship today is I could have opened up diagonally across the street for a third of the price, but I don't want to be in that building. But because I don't want to be on that block in my town, because of what it backs up on, because of what's next door to it, because of the kind of the number one for shoplifting in the country or in the state is in that shopping center. How do you communicate that?
Yeah, it's just technology. It's the same way that you and me could have done this on Zoom if we wanted to. It's the same way that residential people looking for homes in different markets can get on Zillow and do that. So I pay for really expensive, essentially analytics software that grabs cell phone data I can grab any building in the country, click on it, and I can tell you an amount of data. Like when I show this to clients, they're like, that's the creepiest fucking thing ever. I can click on there and show you, okay, in the past X amount of days, whatever you want, this is how many people have gone there. and it's tracking the cell phone. After that, this is where you want to know where they go. The most common grocery store your members go to, or people in this building go to. I can tell you which grocery store. You want me to tell you where they live? I can take you to the street, not the exact door, but I can take you to the street.
That is creepy as hell.
And the bigger brands that I work with do Experian mosaics. So a lot of people, when I say Experian, people think a TransUnion, Equifax. Yeah. Experian's number one revenue generating pillar is they do the highest grade of consumer segmentation analysis in the country. They have what are called Experian mosaics. So I'm going to use Metabolic as an example. Metabolic can download a CSV of every customer throughout all their franchises. Give it to Experian. Experian then takes the babillion fucking data points they have from all these companies that all they do is they study consumer purchasing, psychographics, and demographics, and then geodemography. And then they break down. If you go and I think there's 26 or 30 or so profiles that they've created, and they have these very specific definitions of what it is. Affluent, families that, grew up in the South and do that, but they have these different buying patterns and these psychographics, and they just heat map it. So Metabolic, let's say Metabolic does really well in G32, which is, influential solos. So that's someone in a city who is maybe of high influential status, makes a certain amount of money, has this kind of a degree, all the demographic information you'd expect, but also psychographic, probably votes like this. These are the brands they fuck with. They value this over that.
They have all of that.
They have all of it. I mean, dude, you think about if we talk right now, if we talk about Experian, I bet you on your phone later today, you're going to hit an ad for Experian at some point. How our phone's taking all this?
Yeah.
All that information. So I have all that. I spent a lot of money on this because if I wanted to be competitive in the commercial fitness or commercial industry.
What is it? Can I ask what a lot of money is?
It's called Placer.
No, what's a lot of money?
So a license is going to be over $30,000 a year.
Okay.
So Placer AI is one, Buxton is one, Navient is another. But these are all just different companies that do similar things. So, but you can go and I can take routes. I can show you those cell phones that go from here. They normally go here. I can show you what their favorite bars are. It's creepy, but that comes into the site suitability thing. It's all right, it's based on who you think your customer is. And then I compare that up. And if you don't know, and you already have an existing location, I can click on it and show you over the past 36 months, however many months, this is the number one person that actually comes into your place. Every gym owner's I know my customer. They spit out some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're so skewed because you have snow blindness.
They know who they want their customer.
Yeah, they just don't actually. They're actually your customer's this, and this, and they're like, I didn't even realize that. And it's no, and you're thinking of the 12 people you're really close to, and you're painting it with a broad stroke. So site suitability is that. Site suitability is the right type of people, and then the right location. Let's use the word location for that kind of person, because it's ultimately, if you are a service-based business, people have to come to you. Like you just said, people might not have come to you, same business, if you were just literally across the street.